Good Sunday. It is Sunday, right? Yes,
Yes,
good
it's
Sunday
Sunday.
evening, everybody. How you doing on this fine Sunday? I'm Eddie Vitale, host of My Fight Our War, and it has been a very long few days.
Mhm.
For
Good
some
days.
reason, this won't let me share right now.
Uh-oh.
Don't know why. Let's pop OG in here
Before
before
I
we
start
start.
working,
We yeah, it's I don't know why it's not letting me do that, but
I don't know either.
oh well. You know what? If this is the worst, oh, there we go.
You
Now
got
I
it?
can do it.
It helps if
So,
you throw your phone up against the wall, I noticed.
yeah, if it doesn't work, get a bigger hammer. That's what Dad always used to say. And yeah, it's been a very long few days,
Mhm.
and I tell you what, it's been worth every second. It has been such a great time. Actually, took off Wednesday morning and
Mhm.
landed in New York and spent the next 5 days doing shows at the studio in Connecticut.
And skip.
And actually started off with, as soon as we landed, did some skits. I did post some of the antics that happened in the studio. You know,
If you see him in orange, that's the deal.
me and my Prison Orange, along
Mhm.
with our producer Matt Cronin, Leroy Ebron, and we had a lot of fun. And one thing I'm learning with this stuff is, you know what? If I've never done this before, like I've said many times, social media, podcast, interviews, public speaking,
Mhm.
never. You know what? It's the first time for everything in our lives. And you know what? Just like when you're a little kid and Ma says, "Here, eat the spinach, eat the broccoli, eat this." And my response was, "No, I don't like it." Which she followed up with, "You've never had it." "I know, but I know I don't like it."
Mhm.
Well, as far as same thing with social media, man. I've never done shows, interviews, public speaking, and I absolutely love it. And I'm not even gonna say acting because what
I think you did a good
it
job
you know
acting.
what
You did.
it's
You did.
I don't know what the word to use, but what my next the next few steps jumping into the next part of this journey that I'm on is yeah, who knows where it's going to take us, but I can
Mhm.
tell you one thing: I had an absolute riot. What you saw with the still shots were some of the clips of uh of some of the stuff we did in the studio above the studio, which is a mock setup obviously of the jail cell. And we were there Wednesday, and we were there for shit, I don't know how many
Hours.
hours, just filming clip after clip after clip. And as you guys know, when I'm doing this stuff, we don't use scripts. But when you're doing stuff like that and you're doing any type of acting, uh, you have to, you have to get some type of,
At
you
least an
know,
outline.
they got to tell you, show you, what
Mhm.
you have to do,
Mhm.
and guide you along the way. And oh my God, I know I'm going to screw up their names. Kyrique, and Dylan. Oh man, I know the one's Dylan, and but I tell you what, they're phenomenal producers, directors, editors. They met Ian when he was doing his gig with Mr. Beast, working with him. So right there shows you who these dudes are and their quality of work. And that was the first time I met them. So what a way to start.
Mhm.
And again, not having a clue what I was doing, except I was told, be ready because we've got set up, we've got these videos and clips set up. We've got parts for you as a inmate. We've got parts of you for you as a CO,
Mhm.
and we've got your lines. And I was just like, What?" the best part of this is talking to these guys. They were so awesome at what they do. Um, it was basically they're like our job is to have you go from from A to Z. When we say action, now what happens between A and Z. He pretty much said, you know what, do what you want to do,
Mhm.
which I was like, oh, all right. That's all I had to hear
He likes being unscripted.
because, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell OG, Matt, Ian, these guys. I didn't tell anyone. I was nervous as shit
You didn't look it.
because I didn't want to screw this up, man.
And your other
Yeah.
CO is on right now.
Leroy Ebron. Leroy, how you doing, brother? We had a heck of a few days there with us. Leroy, you didn't see Leroy in the clips I posted only because he had to leave. And but you will see them all when we post them.
Mhm.
Matt is going to be posting and editing them along with Dylan and his partner with Kyrie, and they'll be posted all over the place. Ian's page, our page, StreamYard, YouTube, they're going to be everywhere. And again, they told me, and they never knew that I didn't do these little clips or anything. And I mean, it's not like they're pulling in professional actors. Matt, Leroy, none of us are. But for me, when I'm faced with something like that, I take it very personally, and I want to be the very best. And if it means being the best and doing something, acting as serious as a heart attack, I want to do that. If it means being the biggest, dipshit, corny, silly asshole, I want to be that, and then some. And it worked well. So when they told me, we're to go from A to Z in this scene, these are your lines. This is what we want you to do. This is where we want you to. I mean, again, okay, they're like, okay, here's where you're going to walk in. Here's your landing point. You want to face it. You're going to be into this camera. The other Matt's in this camera. This is the angle we want. This is in the first part of the shot. You're going to be looking at Matt. Then you're going to turn to your right. All these things. And it sounds like no big deal. It really does. Walk in, stop here, say your lines, turn this way, look back, do this. It sounds simple as hell, and it is until they say action, do it. And then you walk in and you've got people watching you. You've got lights, cameras, and all this stuff going on. And besides that, it was so freaking hot up there. But I tell you what, the whole point of this was I was so freaking nervous. But again, I didn't say anything to anybody. And they were like, you know what, do you be you. Here's what we want you to do in this scene. Here's what you're going to be acting like. Here's what you're thinking is and all that. But just, have your own flair. You be you in this in these scenes. Bring
you
out.
did not look nervous. You did not. I'm telling you, I was watching.
So
obviously.
that's what I did. And he then said, you know what? Have fun. Bam.
That's
that
all
was
he needed to hear.
That was it. And as soon as he said that, I just let it rip and had a great time. Leroy, like I said, unfortunately, we were only able to do one with Leroy because they did some before I got there.
Yeah.
And
they'd already been acting
then he had
for
to leave.
hours.
So we did, like I said, few without him, but we will be releasing those, and I cannot wait to show you. And not only that, but talking with these guys, we're going to be doing more in the future. So now every time we go to New York or to Connecticut to our studios, we are definitely, the whole point is to be doing our interviews, to bringing on people to tell their stories. That's not going to change. But now we're adding on doing these shorts, doing these clips for YouTube, StreamYard, and all that stuff, just to get out there, have some fun. The more notoriety you get out there, the more we can bring it to My Fight Our War. And, by, letting people see that no matter what, man, we're just having a good time. Here I had people this weekend saying they thought by being sober, well, I guess I'll never be able to have fun again, and so anyways, we'll get into that. There's a whole, there's so much that could be episodes in itself. So thanks to everybody for a absolute great time. I'll be dropping more of the still shots and the um, the videos as they come in. And other than that, besides the clips that we did, besides the interviews that came in and on Thursday, Friday, thank you for sharing your stories. They were incredible. And Saturday, that brings us to Saturday. Saturday, as you guys know that have been watching us, we've been promoting for 6-7 months now, at least, the Brian Cody Brothers and Sisters Foundation with Coach Tony Morrissey, Mimi, my nephews, Bo, Jaden, Mason, Rach, Maddie, Mimi, and Cookie, the whole Morrissey family that we've been very blessed to become part of. And the event itself was this past Saturday. It was incredible. First of all, the weather, it couldn't have been any better.
Perfect.
It was absolutely perfect. It started out with a 5K run. And again, there's so many people to thank. I'm going to do my best. First of all, big shout out, Lori. How you doing, Lori? And actually, Lori just said it. Donald Blow, who you guys know
Donald
from being on our show, from being on social media, his posts. He's from Maine. Donald was a guest on our show. He also drove 4 hours from Maine to be part of the event on Saturday. And it was the first time getting to meet him in person, just like the first time we went to Athens, Alabama, and we met Lori and all of our Alabama family. There's just something about, it's a very strange feeling because here you talk to people like our shenanigator, Jacqueline, Sheila, Amber, all of the people that we deal with posts and comments, them. They pop up and it's just like, hey, it's like Sheila, Lori, everybody. But then when, you forget, shit, I have never met this person
ever.
Yep. And then when you do meet them, it makes it that much more intense. And that was same thing for this past Saturday. We're sitting there and all of a sudden here comes Donald walking up. And it was just so great hanging out with we got to hang out with him pretty much most of the day. And it was so funny. Donald, as soon as we got there, Coach came up and he goes, listen, man, he goes, I want you, there was an area set up for the stage for the entertainment, areas for the kids. There were food trucks. And then there were areas where tents were set up for all the different organizations that you could walk through to get information. And Coach said, listen, man, I got some people that want to meet you and, get some pictures and do all that stuff and possibly come on the show as well. Well, it was only about 50 yards, 100 yards, if that long, but with tents and tables on each side, a lot of people, but in a very, nice secured area. So Coach is like, listen, I got some people here. So, okay. So we start to walk, we get to the first one and, start talking to the people, introduce, this is, we're from Detroit, My Fighter War, bam, 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 the whole thing. And next thing you know, they're like, can we get some pictures? So we're doing pictures, talking, exchanging cards. And, so we go to keep walking, and all of a sudden it was so cool because a lot of the people that were there obviously are huge fans of Coach and Mimi and the Morrisseys and the Brian Cody Foundation. And obviously with us being part of it, we promote it all the time. And we're on with Bo, we're on with, with Coach. So they see us. So as we're walking around, all of a sudden, you hear, Maddie, and I turn around and, they're like, hey, how you doing? But don't know who they are, but they're from Connecticut or all over the place, coming up and talking as well, talking about the show, talking about how it's helped loved ones and themselves. and again, just taking pictures and just sharing information. And it seemed like, I don't know how long, but it
And
was
then people
the
came up.
classic was
Right.
Donald.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
as
Oh,
we're
yeah.
walking, all of a sudden, coach is like, come on, man, we got more people that you got to meet. So we start to walk, and sure as shit, you'll hear, hey, Manny, hey, come on over here. We're going to, take some pictures over here as well. So we're standing there, and here's Donald. We've walked 5 feet in an hour. And that was it.
Did you say it with the Maine accent?
Yeah, I'm trying. He goes, yeah, Donald. It was like, we walked 5 feet in an hour.
An
An
hour.
hour. That Maine
That
accent.
Maine kind of accent.
But
it was
like, I looked at him, and sure as shit, we turned around where we
hadn't gotten very
started.
far.
An hour later, where we were, it was like right there. But just Donald made it. It was just so damn funny. It was so funny. Sheila, hello, Sheila. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the pictures of your babies. I hope you enjoyed the one of Susie the Wonder Dog. But it was an amazing time. The people that we met, the connections that we made Saturday were incredible. As you guys saw, Donald was like the the on site not coordinator, on site reporter, giving updates and doing videos, and he did great. So we're walking around and doing all this stuff, and like I said, just the amazing people that were there. It was just amazing.
Lori, when we were walking down these short time that we were walking through these, these above tents where people were sitting with their goods and information, it felt like we were at the meet and greet.
Yes.
Everybody was so friendly and just so accommodating and just hugging. And then he'd be standing there, and somebody from another tent way down the way would, Manny, like he'd been on a show, like Elvis.
They saw a show.
Rick came over, and all these different people would come over, and they're hugging and they're getting.
It was like a big warm hug, just like the meet and greet that you did in Alabama.
Yeah, that's the kind of feeling it was.
It was, and
God, life is good.
It was so great. As we're sitting there, all of a sudden, like she was saying, Elvis comes walking up, and I haven't seen him since the show, and talking about his son. So there he is, and then Rick and our friend, just the list goes on and on and on. They were just scattered all over, and it felt like just a warm hug from family that you haven't seen.
Stevens rolls up, and
my man Dave Stevens, that I talk about all the time, who is he was born with no legs, was there doing his gig. He was a guest speaker who, of course, knocked it out of the park. And so who had to follow him? So yeah, no pressure.
Also knocked it out of the park.
A huge shout out to everybody that was there. Skylar actually had a lot of the names of the speakers and the talent that was there. So a huge shout out to Skylar Ray and Kayla. King Handsome Whoa, he was able to show up. Yeah. And,
and of course, Diane.
Our friend Diane. And then our new friends, KC, we met KC, and KC's going to be on our show. And
wonderful man Paul. You want to tell them a little bit about
Paul? Yes, we got
what the event is for. Lori, if you're still on, you'll really appreciate this story.
Yeah, it was let's see. But for like KC makes music, he go, his name is Casey Conklin, but Casey makes music and all that stuff. It is an incredible artist. Boom, he's right there with us. He's like, hey man, you mind if I sit here? Because we introduced each other, or we were introduced to each other, and just for a few minutes, because he was so damn busy, because everyone wanted a piece of him, pictures and autographs and all that. So I'm sitting there, and Bo told him a little bit. He goes like, "This is Manny. He does My Fight or War," and a little while later, he came over, and he's going to be on the show. He's extremely busy, so we're working out the details. but just like that, met him, sat down for a few minutes, and part of the family. Uh, Again, all these other people that were Dave Stevens, the guest speaker, the other musical entertainment that I don't have in front of me that were on before, right when we got there, were incredible. Got the crowd going. They started out with a 5K run. Check out Donald's page. Donald was there. He had
monitoring the run.
Yeah, he had the opening speech from Coach, the run, most of the speakers and all that stuff. Donald had it. So we're sitting there, and like I said, Dave Stevens pops up. He does his speech. They had these. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 actors. I'm sorry, I don't have. I'm tired as hell, man. I should have been more prepared. That's
like he is.
I should have been more prepared. Holy crap! You can tell I'm tired. That makes no sense. But they had these 5 actors, and it was portrayed to be mom, dad, two daughters, younger daughters, about addiction. And here they are, 4 folding chairs and microphones, sitting in the middle of this park where we all were, and did this play. And I tell you what, it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I will get the information and post it out there and tell you more about it. In fact, we'll get all the information to do a little more background on everyone. But like I said,
might be able to get them on a Monday night.
Yeah,
1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, and but like right now, I just wanted to pop on and just do a little recap here.
Tell them about Paul.
Yeah, we were sitting there. So everyone, Coach had it set up for everyone at the time frame. It was great. I mean, so and so goes on at 9 till 9:30 and 10 till 10:30, and it went great. And so finally got to be my turn to go up and speak. So I went up there, and it's posted as well. And it was just a great opportunity to sit there and talk to the community and the people that were there. And I can only speak for myself because I don't know what other people see or don't see when they're up there talking to doing like their public speaking stuff. But for me, when I'm up there, sometimes it looks like a big blur. You're just looking around because, again, the nerves kick in. And other times it's like you are talking to this individual. I mean, it's like sometimes they're making eye contact with you. Maybe you hit on something and you could tell because they're either like shaking their head or pointing.
Yeah, you're connecting.
So all these people are there, and I'm talking, I'm doing my thing, and there was a guy standing in the back, and he was probably a good 100, 200 feet behind other people, in the back of the crowd. But there was just something about him. And as I'm talking, I noticed him a few times, and you get a little closer, and he's kind of nodding his head. And I saw him like put his hands up over his face. And for some reason, like I said, I just kept really noticing him. So I finished my speech, and I get done. I walk over, and I was talking to a few people, and I look up, or I go to get up, and I feel a tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and it's that guy. And he goes, "Yeah, how you doing, man?" He goes, "I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing your story." He goes, "It really, really touched me." And he goes, "I just want you to know that I'm celebrating 4 days of sobriety."
Oof.
And as soon as he said it, he started crying. He just lost it. And I was like, "Yeah, all right." I mean, I'm hugging him. I'm like, "That's awesome, man." So he was obviously very upset. So we move off to the side and grabbed a couple chairs. I'm just sitting there with him talking. And he said, "Someone told me about this event. I wanted to come down." And he said, someone told him about this guy, Manny, from My Fighter War. And this guy was a biker. So they told him about me and that he should check me out. And he just said there was something that day that he had to do it. And he was very grateful just for not only hearing my story, but the people that were around. Within a half hour, he talked to me, and all of a sudden I look up who walks by, the man himself, Coach Tony Morrissey. I introduce him to Coach Rick DeVal, the man, the legend, introduce him to him, our friend Diane Hayes, our guardian angel. Her, he was smiling from ear to ear. And
Surrounded by loving support.
yeah, but it's just incredible, the power of our words. And I say it all the time, man. When people sometimes will say to me, well, my story really doesn't mean that much, or my story isn't as intense, or it's like, trust me, your words matter.
Mhm.
And it just goes to show you, man. So right there, one person.
Mhm.
One person. So it made it all worth it right there. But yeah, it was a very incredible
There goes
day,
Groot.
to say the least.
Groot joining in. Okay.
We've got some friends in the
Uh-huh.
studio, as you can see. But yeah, I mean, that's what it makes it all about, is
Mhm.
just the people, like I said, from him, whoever told him about that event,
Yeah.
whoever that person was, thank you. For Coach and Rick and Diane, and then the others that were there that heard us talking about him. And I did have to, I finally went up to him about an hour or so later, and I go, listen, man, I go, I'm so happy for you. And I go, I know, I go, it can seem like a little bit of overkill right now, because you got people like in your face right now wanting to shove a ton of help down your throat.
Mhm.
I go, please, if it seems a little overwhelming, just tell us. Just say, hey, listen, I need some space. Just tell us.
Mhm.
Don't keep things in and bolt on us. Just say, listen, I appreciate you. I need some space. We get it. And he's like, no, man, this is exactly what I needed.
Yeah, he
So
think how there's nobody at home that day because his wife was somewhere, and I don't know who else was not at the house, but he did not want to go home to an empty house. Not
yeah,
after 4 days of sobriety. It was gonna be kinda difficult, and somebody had told him about this event, and he got surrounded by love and support. That man just
he,
and he was so emotional. He was so touched by all
yeah,
that support. It
and
was beautiful.
it was just, and that was just, like I said, one person
Mhm,
at that moment. That was happening throughout the day
mhm,
as people were telling their stories, not only up front on stage, but walking around. We were meeting people from the second we got there, and literally until the minute we left, we were meeting more people, because people were coming up. They're like, I saw you on so and so's show, or a friend
mhm.
of mine that you had on the show told me about you. And we've got so many people lined up in Connecticut when we go back to come on as guests on the show. I mean, we're going to be lined up now for probably the next
Well, another
6
two
months.
visits. Well, I mean,
You know,
October, and then we'll probably go back in December, so yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's just,
I have a Ziploc bag full of names and numbers.
and again,
Stays in a Ziploc bag.
just from that portion of the event,
Uh,
and it didn't stop there.
no.
So here, it's been Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just a lot of shows,
Mhm.
interviews, and all that stuff. And then Saturday, the Brian Cody, finally ended up left there around 3:30 or so. Had to go get some rest, because later on that night, we attended. We got invited to a VIP party for Ian Bick for his premiere with Mr. Beast and stuff that he's doing for the community. And you know, anything I could do for Ian to help out, I'm there, because
Absolutely.
if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have the opportunities that I have been given in Connecticut. I wouldn't have a studio there to work out of,
Mhm.
wouldn't have a producer in Matt Cronin, wouldn't know Leroy, wouldn't know AJ Galante. You know, oh shit, there was so many people that were at this premiere,
Mhm.
um, that were on their show, or I was on their show.
Mhm.
And with that amount of time, they're like, hey, listen, I've got these people now that want to come on. It just spreads like wildfire. And such a blessing, man. And it just goes to show you that, again, don't think that you don't have to be some celebrity, man. We had a lot of people who have been on so many different shows that, of course, we're getting a lot of attention at these events. We had just as many people that were on our show that were just regular Joes, man, just like us, that were getting just the same, if not more attention because of the relatability.
Mhm.
And that's nothing against these, the people that are the athletes and celebrities, nothing against them at all. If anything, it just goes to show that our stories matter just as much, if not more, because we're the. But it was a great time,
Yeah, we
man.
met the felon. What was it, Sean?
We got another one, Sean. I'm
Yeah.
sitting there at the with the event for
Yeah,
Ian,
for Ian.
and this guy walks up, and he's just. This is one thing that kind of freaks me out. Now that I'm doing this stuff, is people will walk up and they'll be like, they'll either say, you're Manny, right? And it's just like,
Yeah.
why?
Well,
Is that a good thing or
maybe.
a bad thing? Yeah.
Who are
And
you?
but this one he said, you're Manny. I saw you and Stax doing a show.
Mhm.
And that was just 2 days prior, maybe the day before, or 2 days prior. And I'd never met this guy. He happened to watch the show, saw that, and he goes, yeah, I was on Ian's show like way back when, but I saw you and Bill. Then I saw some of your shows. I'd love to be on. Bam, he's
you go.
coming on now. So like I
Do you
said,
remember what his T-shirt said? It said something felon. Like
no, I don't.
it was good. It was a very catchy shirt.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't like fabulous felon. It was something. I don't know. That was a good T-shirt, but it was big. This big guy in this big kind of reddish orange T-shirt, something felon on it. And I was like, okay, well, that's an interesting shirt.
oh shit.
Are you a felon? He said, I used to be.
Yeah, once a felon, always a felon, man. And but yeah, he just a great guy, man. And again, didn't know him at all.
Mm-mm.
A few
Well, you guys
but
just blended. You guys just hit it off.
just like I say all the time, you are one hello away
Mm-hmm.
from meeting your new best friend.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know. And that's how this whole week was this week. And it was just a great time. We are going to go over it a lot more detail. We're going to be actually tomorrow night. We are having Donald on
Mm-hmm.
7-ish again.
Our roving reporter.
Our
'Cause
roving
he was
reporter,
everywhere taking
Donald,
pictures.
will be
It
on,
was
and
wonderful.
he's going to be giving his insight because he was there before us,
Yeah.
and he was there after us. And not only that, I had certain things that I had to do and people I had to meet while he was roaming around doing everything. So he had a lot more. So it's going to be very interesting to talk to Donald, get his perspective. So please, if you've got any questions and all that, let them rip. But then
Mhm.
Donald's going to be able to answer a lot.
And we're at the normal 7 p.m. ish
Yep.
tomorrow.
Yep,
Okay.
we're gonna have my man Groot here is gonna be part of it too. He wants camera time. Groot's a little bit, he wants to have some fun as well.
Uh-huh.
Also, just an update because we've had people wondering about my brother's keeper, and unfortunately, with what's going on at work between this, amazing family at my fight and doing shows here, and all of the lives we're doing. I'm doing.
Well, time is limited to get to him anyway. I
Well,
mean,
yeah, we've
because
got
of the time
crazy.
frame, but your work is
Well, the
getting
time,
in the way.
the schedule is crazy because I work till 6, and usually we had it set up on Mondays where we would go on at 4. Well, because of scheduling right now, that's not
Not
possible.
happening.
I was hoping it was going to be over by now. Unfortunately, it's not. And until things change, I don't know what the official date that will resume again. But unfortunately, for right now, it's not going to be tomorrow or next Monday for sure.
But you still have Manny.
Yeah, you're still stuck with me.
Anytime, anywhere, any place.
And Thomas, still, you got Thomas on you still go to the site, still go to My Brother's Keepers page, still go to Sensitive Bikers page, because we're still there. It's just that for the next couple of weeks, we're not able to do the live shows, but it will change. So that's just the update with
Life has
My
changed,
Brother's Keeper.
honey. Life has changed. Every day is a change.
And these are good things. I'm not whining. These are good problems to have. When you're too damn busy, it's a good thing. And so I'm very blessed for that. So, that's another thing that's going to happen in Connecticut, because now with adding on to these video skits and shorts that we're doing upstairs, that's going to add on to everything else that we're doing between that and the in-person interviews.
And
so
that might expand to something special, but we're not sure yet.
You never know. Yeah. And we're hoping, some of the people that we're working with have made comments. And then also with, you guys know him, Bill Stacks, chatting with Stacks. He is also, besides a podcast host, he's an actor as well, and he's done a couple movies. He's been in a few, and we've been talking now actually for months.
And he's working
got
on
another, he's got another show coming out, and he said this was about 4 months ago or something like that, he goes, I got a part for you that I want you to be in. And I was like, well, sure. And, with him being busy and us as well, it kind of got pushed under the rug a little bit. And we hooked up and did a couple shorts Wednesday or when did we do that? Whatever day it was when he came in.
Yeah.
But he informed me that there's even more going on with his new movie, and
they're looking for a big Italian guy.
Well,
there you go.
We got not only that, but we're going to have Ian Bick and Matt Cronin. Are going to be in it as well. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. And of course, like I said, looking at Leroy Ebron, you're going to see the stuff that we did as well. Funny as can be. Leroy's a riot, and he can attest to how damn hot it was up there doing recording. Jeez. But
it had to be 100 degrees in that room.
Well, it was hot. But other than that, man, like I said, just wanted to give an update on how things went, especially for the event with Brian Cody's brothers and sisters, because the Morrisseys, Coach Mimi, the whole family,
amazing.
They put so much into it. I had the blessing of having Coach and Bo on our show as guests. And this past Friday, I had Casey on, who is a cousin. And, for all of the things that Bo has seen and gone through, and Casey as well, to see the amazing young men they are, it's a testament to show that, just because you've been dealt a bad hand doesn't mean that's how it's going to end. You play the game to the end. And I actually had a talk with Bo a couple of times, but again today, just letting him know, how much I absolutely love him, man. I mean, hearing his story that first time, just the amount of pride that I have, and what a just amazing young man he is. And then meeting Casey. Where do you see the interview with Casey? You've seen the one with Bo.
21 and 22, hard workers. Hard workers. They don't take anything for granted. And they both had rough beginnings.
And with during some of the recordings for both of them, actually, there were parts of the interview that I was doing where I was like, listen, guys, if we had just the transcripts and said, guest A said this, guest B said this, one's the mom, one's the son, guess who it was? You wouldn't have known, because here with Casey, we had a 16-year-old kid who was basically having to lay down the mom saying, listen, I can't live like this. Your life, the way what you're doing to yourself with drugs and alcohol and addiction. I can't be around. This is a 16-year-old telling his mother this. And then you got, my nephew Bo, man, who has seen more than most adults have at this young age.
Oh, yeah.
And you talk about just an amazing young man who's got his head on straight. Like I said, man, I just love him.
Gives you hope for the future.
And
these youngsters are going to be just fine.
And again, go back to the source. Coach Tony Morrissey and his wife Mimi. You talk about superheroes. Coach was on, and so this is out there as well. But Coach and Mimi got married. When Coach and Mimi got married, Coach had 2 kids, Mimi 3. They get married, bam, they got 5 kids. 30 days later, they got 5 more because they took in his nieces and nephews because of
they would have gone into foster care.
They were going to go into foster care, and there was no hesitation. Coach Mimi said, hell no. And so within 30 days, Coach and Mimi get married. Within 30 days, they go from having, 3 kids, 2 kids to having 5. Within 30 days, they go from having 5 to 10. Didn't blink an eye.
Happy honeymoon.
Yeah. So God bless you guys. I love you, Coach. I love you, Mimi and Cookie, Bo, all of you guys.
Got to meet Aunt Cookie. How come she's not? Oh, she's probably driving back to.
Yeah, there was a Pittsburgh or not Pittsburgh. I can't remember now.
No, Pittsburgh was the guy, Sean.
But
it was terrible. I don't remember.
It was a great
New
time,
York,
folks. It really was. And we were given the awards, as you saw, if you saw the Donald's video. After I did my speech, Coach presented us with the Hope Dealer certificates, which was an absolute honor.
So now we're Hope Dealers.
We are Hope Dealers and
officially.
Part of this. So thank you guys. And we are going to be talking more about this tomorrow with Donald Blow. Again, it's going to be 7-ish. And then throughout the week, Bo is going to be on again, 7-ish. I'm not sure what day right now. We're working that out as well.
You'll be back to work, so it might be 8-ish.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah. But because we're going to get the perspective of Donald, Bo, and who knows, maybe Coach if he has time to let everybody recuperate because, like I said,
they've been working
it's been a long 5 days for us.
They've been working their glutes off. Okay.
Yeah, but this has been insane for the Morrisseys and for the all of the people involved with the foundation, the team that they have there.
Labor of love.
It just
for them, labor of love.
So that's about it, folks. You guys, thank you for what you do and for what we were talking about. Yeah. Hey, Sheila. Yeah. You know what, Sheila, you notice that, huh? And it's so funny because Sheila, you know this, you've been watching us. It always seems right before I go to New York. It's usually like the week before I start to lose my voice. And, it'll be, a month and a half doing shows, sometimes doing 1 a week, sometimes doing 5 a week. And I'm just plugging along, no problem. And then also it's like, okay, we're going to New York in 2 weeks. Okay. All of a sudden, and it happened Saturday, actually, too. It was getting a little worse. It got worse Thursday, a little worse Friday. And Saturday, on the way to the event, as I was driving, our driver was talking to us. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And not only that, it's a rough crowd, man. It's a very rough crowd. And if you're not on your A game, things can get a little crazy. And as you can see, if you don't hold your own, you can get sucker punched. And
you see, he lost a tooth. I told him to be quiet. I
was
told him to
sitting, I
behave.
had a cap, a partial put in like for a bridge. I had cracked the tooth, so I had to put in a cap, and it was Thursday, I think. Thursday, it was. I finished an interview at the studio, and it just so happened my next guest was Skylar Ray and Kayla come into the studio. So Skylar was my next guest. So we're getting everything set up, and they take Skylar into the studio. They get him set. Matt gets him set up in the chair for the camera angle, this headshots, and the mic check. So I had this candy in my mouth, and I'm getting ready to walk down the hall towards the studio, and I bite down, and I'm crunching away, and it was almost gone too. So it wasn't really thick. So I take another bite, and as I'm chewing, I'm like, man, that's hard. I'm like, oh, I spit my tooth out as I'm walking in to do a show. And it's, of course, right in the front. So I'm like, son of a bitch. So I grab it and I go in, I walk right by OG and I walk right by Kayla. Don't say a word. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to be going the other way into the studio. So instead, I leave the studio. I'm in the bathroom and I'm trying to put it back in there. And luckily, it was able to wedge in and still click back in. So I walk back out and they're looking at me like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be in the studio. And I said, I have a surprise for you guys. I have something to tell you after after the interview. Hopefully it'll go fine. That's all I said. And as I walk away,
so left us totally like,
Kayla's like, seriously, you're going to leave it like that? So I go into the studio and I'm sitting down and thank God it was Skylar. So we're sitting there talking. Just before I do the intro, I'm like, all right, Skylar, I got to tell you what, let's do this. And I go, after the interview, I got to show you what I was telling OG and Kayla about. I go, hopefully it'll last through the interview. And he's like, what are you talking about? Finish the interview and walk out. And I told him what happened. Well, obviously, as you can see, it fell out again. So, and of course, tomorrow's a holiday, so I can't go. So, I look like, this. So, I am a hockey player. Yeah. So, I've had them loosened before, and King Handsome, Woe is in the house. You know what, Woe? It was so great to see you, man. I was so bummed because by the time Woe got there, he performed with Skylar and Kayla. But unfortunately, the time frame for our driver to pick us up and take us to the next or take us back to get ready for the next event was just pulled up. So it was like, son of a bitch. And then Woe jumps out because even though we've been talking for almost 8-9 months, a year, something like that, it was the first time we were going to get together. But at least we had a very few moments together. I got to see my brother Woe.
Got a hug from Woe.
I got to tell you how much I love you and how you are just kicking ass. So Woe, you're nailing it, man. I love you, proud of you, and we're gonna hook up soon, man. We got to get you to Detroit. But other than that, man, we're going to jump on again tomorrow with Donald Blow to get the insight from Donald. So please join us tomorrow. And again, after that, we'll have Bo, maybe Coach later on. And as I said, as far as my brother's keeper,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned because it's definitely not going to be tomorrow or the following Monday. But as things change and I get the new schedule, I will let you guys know. So have a great night, folks. Have a great holiday tomorrow. Be safe and
be happy.
Love you guys. As always, keep fighting the good fight.
I know.